Hi, I'm Shelby. I am an Australian potter and I am finally building my new pottery studio, which is so exciting, and I thought what a lovely journey to take you on. So welcome to episode 1 of the new Pottery Studio Build. It is time to get a new pottery studio because I have outgrown this one, plain and simple, but there are a few creature comforts that I would love to take to the new studio that I don't have in this one. So the first one is I have really bad lighting. It is really hard when it's gloomy to see what I'm actually painting, and I often have to wait for really sunny days to even film content. The second thing is I am very exposed to the elements. It is really cold and really hot, so the new studio will hopefully have insulation and a nice heating and cooling system to keep me warm and cool, and also to look after the pottery in those extreme conditions as well. The third and final one is better storage and better organization. At the moment I'm in a single carport, so everything just kind of gets shoved. It just gets pushed somewhere, and I think that's also because I knew that I was always going to build this space and I never really built something of some permanence for storage. So those are 3 massive reasons. The main overarching reason is that I have outgrown this space and I am just ready for new and ready to have this space grow with me as an artist and a business. I will link a tour of my current art space here so that you can go back and check it out for context if this is the first time you're seeing my face on YouTube, or just in general, or just curious. I have that there. It is a lovely space, but again, it doesn't meet my needs anymore, but here it is here just for context so you can see how much this space is going to be a game changer for me. First off, with the shed build, we had to go in and get some plans drawn up. We had to make sure that the plans met our property overlay and could be approved for permits via the council. So we were told that the council permits would take anywhere between a couple of weeks to a couple of months. It ended up being the latter of that. So it was a really drawn out process, but thankfully they all got approved. From there, the shed builders told us that the shed would be up in October 2021. It is now September 2022 and I'm posting this with everything finally finished and signed off. So you can say politely that we had a lot of dramas with this company and we won't work with them again. I am just so grateful that it is up now. I can move into the space and I will live in that space for the next 5 to 10 years. I hope you enjoy this video and this new series of the new Pottery Studio Build. I am so excited to take you with me, so let's get into it. So this is what we have so far. It's still got a little while to go, but we have our sliding door, which have just come through. All the walls are in except for the front wall, and they're all insulated, which will be really nice for sound and also warmth because Ballarat gets really cold. I'm hoping that the roof will be on tomorrow. And I also have the electrician coming out for a quote to get the 3-phase install for the kilns. It's all coming along, which is really exciting because it's been a long time coming just to get the shell. Just to get this shell to start with the studio. So, so exciting.
Several months later.
It has been the biggest ordeal, I swear. Like so much worse things happening in the world, but it was just an ordeal in its own right. This was meant to be finished in October 2021. It is now March 2022 and we're still waiting on parts to arrive. There's been issues with COVID and the supply chain, making it really difficult to get replacement parts and the things that were missing from the kit order. But hopefully this week it's going to be finished and can start really getting into the crux of things. We have had the electrician come out. 3 phases, good. Thank goodness, otherwise all of this would have been futile. 3 phases so I can get a bigger kiln, so I can do bigger fire rings in this space, which is
nice.
so wonderful, going to be such a game changer for me. So that was the biggest thing, was the 3-phase. So we've got that, and we've got the whole space set up on its own power box. We're in the process right now of digging trenches for plumbing. So we've got to get stormwater, so getting the rainwater that lands on the shed out of here. We've also got to get water down here, so that we can have a little sink, a little kitchenette, hopefully, so we can wash up and do some things out here. I'm going to be pressure washing the floor and prepping it for the acid wash. So I'm popping an acid wash on the floor to prep it for the sealant. But instead of just doing a clear acid wash, like a plain acid wash, I'm actually doing a stained patina acid, which is from Permacolor. I'm hoping it will make the concrete have this really marbled look. And just to do something different than just the plain concrete, given I'm going to seal it anyway, I thought paint was a bit plain, so we'll try this out. And if it doesn't work, at least we've acid stained it ready and given that surface a nice coarse surface for the sealant to go on, that we can just paint it afterwards if it doesn't look any good. But I'm certain it's going to look good. I'm hopeful it's going to look good. It's a bit nerve-wracking because I'm going to be spraying colour all over it, and you can't really go back from there. Something arrived in the post which I'm sitting on that is quite important to the next stages of the build itself. Our new Hoselink hose for the back, which is 30 meters long, so it has ample coverage to actually reach down here. Here we go. Okay, all pressure washed now. So I'm going to mask the walls because the stain is not allowed to touch metal because it reacts with it. So I am going to cut out some like drop sheets and stick them to the walls and cover all the metal. So yeah, and then I can stain it all. Okay, all taped up, masked up so that any overspray of the stain doesn't hit anything metal. I'll show you what I'm hoping the stain will look like, but in a blue colour. So fingers crossed it looks like this sort of mottled, marbled look. So this is the concrete drying. I'm sort of hoping that it will look like this, so where the darker areas are, it's a little bit darker, and where the lighter areas are, it's a little bit lighter. But who knows what it's going to end up looking like. I hope it comes out the colour. Oh my gosh. I like how it drips. So nasty. I am just walking towards the studio because last night we couldn't see the true colour of it because it was nighttime. I'm going to see how their reaction has played out, and hopefully it's okay, hopefully, and hopefully I'll be able to varnish it today. Alright, here we go. I can see it through the window. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Have a look. Oh, it's hard to see right now, but we're gonna varnish it. Look, you can see the marbleness. I'm gonna do one more mop because I can see there's a little bit of powder residue just here from the mops. So I'm gonna do one more mop over the top there, and then I'm going to seal it with some sealant. There is such a variation of colour. Excuse the splatter marks there, just from the mop where it's a bit wetter, but it is so pretty everywhere you look. There's a different marble texture, there's a different detail going on in the ground. I am just so impressed. The only thing I'm nervous about now is adding the sealant, because with sealant it will either go darker or it will make the colour pop. So that is one thing I'm really nervous about. I hope it doesn't go too much darker because I love this colour. But again, it might change again, which is really the fun part of this. But I'm obsessed. It's so exciting. So now I need to varnish it. So to do that, I'm going to take off all the drop sheets, and that's just so I can get the varnish as close to the walls as possible. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then the varnish sealer should take hopefully this afternoon, and then we'll just leave it, and then we can come back in a couple of days and it'll be done. Okay, the walls are down. So what I'm going to do is pop my little plastic square on just to see how dry it is and leave it on for a couple of hours so we can know whether we can do the ceiling. But it's looking amazing. I'm just going to sponge down the walls one more time with my gloves. I realised as I was pulling off the sheets that they were still a little bit wet down the bottom, and some of the acid was still sort of lingering underneath the tape a little bit. No damage thankfully, which is great. I taped down well, but I'm just gonna make sure I deactivate all that remaining acid that's on the side, and then we wait for it to dry, and hopefully that's soon so we can seal it. The floor is officially cured, so I'm going to show you the colour, and that about wraps up the first vlog of the studio fit out, and I'll be back with more, but I want to show you the floor and then I'll see you next time.